Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here, and I didn't do a COVID-19 or coronavirus video all day because I wanted to let everything kind of sink in, and I did an extensive interview for over an hour and a half with Angelo John Gage over on Reality Engaged. This is only my second video of the day, but what I thought I was going to do is talk about what the latest developments are, what I think they mean. I'm going to take your questions like always. We take all super chats here, every single one of them, and we also go down the line. So get those questions in right now. And I'm going to start off by saying, actually, before South by Southwest was canceled, which has huge implications everywhere, whether this virus is as deadly as some people think, or it has a 4% kill rate, or it has a 3.4 or a 5 or a 10 or whatever. Now big events are being canceled. And even before South by Southwest, Slipknot actually canceled their Knotfest tour overseas. And I tweeted that out last night. So there's a lot of information to go over. Get your questions in now. I'm going to warn everybody out of the gates. If I hear anything about those people that lost their loved ones yesterday being crisis actors or something of that nature, I'm going to block you. I'm sorry. I'm not going to stand by and watch you besmirch other human beings that clearly have lost their loved ones, and in one case is so frustrated because he feels like he's going to lose his father-in-law and nothing's going to be done. Okay? So, first of all, I want to talk about my neck of the woods. South by Southwest is a huge development, But let's talk about my neck of the woods right now. All right. So today, upstate New York, we've got quarantines, straight up. Now, the numbers as of early this afternoon, okay, as of way early this afternoon, and we're going to go to my Twitter feed for it, I believe it was over 4,000 in New York State now, supposedly self-quarantined, whatever that means. It's precautionary, okay? And then these are the precautionary quarantines. 44 are mandatory. Now, I believe Erie County does have some that are mandatory. Nassau County has some that are mandatory. Westchester, and then New York City. Those top four are part of the mandatory thing. Now, that was a separate dial, but take a look. And they've barely tested anybody right now. So what this actually means is there's going to be a huge outbreak of diagnoses in New York especially. All right? So now you have Albany, you have Broome, you have Dutchess. I am in Otsego County. Even Otsego County has 3 people. Okay? It's everywhere. Now, the SUNY college system is going on break right now. Okay? They're going home, and a lot of them are traveling to Florida and other places. But the thing is that many of them live in the city. At some point, they'll be in one of these counties amongst all of these people. And these numbers are going to rise every day. Okay? Every day they're going to go up. So my prediction is the next large event that's either going to be canceled or they're going to say it's going to be played without an audience is March Madness. Get ready. If you've never attended South by Southwest, I lived in Austin for a time. You can't understand what a devastation that is on the local economy. We're talking about high-level concerts everywhere, sub-concerts, bar business, movie industry. I mean, it's a huge deal for them to cancel that and expect that to be the trend over the next week. I don't know how much of a breather our officials or the government are going to give us over the weekend. I can't tell you how that's going to play out, but I can show you what the numbers are now. And so we have also in Rockland County, and they're starting to test more and more in Rockland County as well. Okay? So let's continue over here. There's Rockland. And again, a lot of these people are now being tested, and then that test is going out to Albany, and they're supposedly getting it in 24 to 48 hours. But very minimum tests have even been done. All right? So that is a absolute big move that when the city of Austin proclaims a local disaster, you're going to see more and more executive orders, okay? And people implementing those things. So another thing to note today was that the Vatican City reported its first case of coronavirus, but they are saying that the Pope tested negative. Now, I know that was a big hype around everything, that the Pope somehow, was, amongst a bunch of people, telling people, hey, don't be afraid of Asians, and then amongst the crowd, and then he came down with a sickness. Now, they're saying that was negative, but now, again, we're seeing, I want to make this extremely clear, what the mainstream media is saying, 2 strains of this, and in China, they're straight up doing, whatchamacallit, CT scans on your lungs to look at this. And that seems pretty odd to me because they're looking at healthy people as well and their lungs. So is that the new way they're actually diagnosing this? What tests are being given? What's actually being found? I've seen things on the L and the S strain. There's not a lot of straight answers around right now. And most people are being sent home, by the way. That's still real. They're still amongst the regular population. Now, there's this article already, don't believe these crackpot myths. And I don't know what to say about this. Some people are talking about sauerkraut, garlic water, peppercorns, sesame oil. I'm saying get your immune system up for sure. Yoga for breathing exercises, body bubbles, bleach, warm weather or cold weather. I mean, I'll give it this, that, we really don't know. We are in the first stages of this. We don't know how serious it actually is. I did tweet something out where apparently the South Korean study is saying that they've got anybody who has this article, by the way, I'd like to see it because I just, I saw it and I retweeted it. But it says the South Korea, that out of 140,000 people tested, the death rate was 0.6%. All right. But remember, the WHO also, like a week ago, said it could be up to 10%, and nobody picked that up. They were also talking about this kind of like as a universal threat, much like an alien threat. So, something to point out. So, again, they're talking about New York City schools scramble to track student and teacher amid coronavirus threat. The cat's out of the bag, guys. Again, I mean, this is going to be ridiculous. De Blasio, the mayor of New York City, I mean, I guess it would have to be a Cuomo move, but I retweeted him, and I asked, let's see, that's Tulsi Gabbard. Where is it? Right here. Here it is right here. To any New Yorkers who have recently traveled to the 5 affected countries, we ask upon your return that you isolate yourself for 14 days as a precaution. And if you have any symptoms, you get tested for COVID-19. This is going to be massive. I mean, people don't understand how big New York City is. All right? So I asked, when are they going to make SUNY schools online only? You can't really expect all these kids, number one, to go all across the world, down in Florida where they're going to diagnose it, all across the country, dampen their immune systems, hook up all over the place, obviously spread the virus, then go back to New York where their family's sick, even if they haven't spread the virus there, come back with a compromised immune system, and then they're just going to unleash them everywhere? I mean, maybe I'm off on this, but we're already, again, Japan closed schools throughout the month, and Italy is doing the same. And you know what? I got to be honest. I'm half Italian. If this somehow is some kind of race-specific, I mean, is it at this point? It looks like obviously China's had its problem with it. Iran has had its problem with it. Italy has had its problem with it. They were 8 for 8 at that nursing home, and I get that they had preconditions and they were older, but what can we believe? And this is actually a pretty good article asking, what's going to happen here? Is this going to be class warfare? Who's going to have access to what in the next coming days and months? Because as I've talked about, the chain of supply has been broken for sure. Okay, and the economy is showing that. I kept telling you the stock market it'll go up a little bit after it goes down and go up a little bit. And it's not going to be a one-day crash. They're going to bleed this out for as long as they can, for sure. I mean, the stock market is reeling right now, guys, for real. I mean, we were talking about all this earlier in the week, but these are the real world effects, okay? And we were talking about Italy. They have 4,000 cases, and they have a death toll of 200. Well, what is that? I mean, you guys can do the math there, right? All right, that's not, a 1% or a point whatever percent. No, that's a very, very kind of scary percent right there. All right, that's a I believe it's 5%. That's a 5% rate. And again, that's the diagnosed cases apparently. And what tests are we talking about? And they're saying that this could do permanent damage to your lungs in some cases. We have the second UK linked death, and they have 164 positive. I mean, look, I'm really not trying to freak people out. I'm just showing what everybody's reporting. And more, it does look like Shepard Ambellis was correct that this is going to get to pandemic level 6, and that real quarantines are about to happen. Okay? So, this is Press TV, but, you can go check this out. He says, this could be a real bioweapon, but no matter what, the psychological effects, there's a short video here, are already taking place. And, this is a pretty accurate video. So you can go check that out. The other thing is you can go back and you can look, and it looks like even yesterday with that Mike Pence, there was talk of a vaccine already in the works. And I'm very hesitant. Like, I don't want to be forced to vaccine whether I contract COVID-19 or I don't. And they're still pushing the flu vaccine to get that right now, which I think would be a mistake. I mean, these are talking points that are out there. I think that's important, okay? And I think that's all we've got. So, guys, again, I'm gonna scroll all the way back up. Get your any super chats will do. Before we get to the questions, I want to remind everybody that I am a documentary filmmaker. You can check them out all for free here. I do it 3 to 7 times a day. I got the Rockfin, support me there, $9.99. And honestly, guys, this is how I do my thing. So $5, $10, $15, it means the world to me. I still need to pay my bills. I know you got to pay your bills. You like real media, independent media that's going to look at it from all angles. I hope you realize this is it. All right. Let's go through the comments and the questions. Let's see. Caught JB live. What's happening? Hey, what's up? What's up, Drewfus? How you doing, brother? How you doing, Gritch? Good to see you guys. Gritch and Drew into place. I don't want any vaccine. Chump just called Washington State Governor Inslee a snake. Did he really? Oh, well, I have to see that. Good. It's all garbage, bread, and circus panem for the sheep slaves. Let them cancel all that crap. Harmful, toxic anyway. Yeah, but what happens when it's taken a step further and, your schools are closed? And then after that, I mean, the economy, we don't, I think this is going to be the biggest economic reset we've seen in our lifetime. I don't think, even in the 80s when a lot of things fell out and IBM went down and people that remember that was a big deal, I think it's going to be way bigger. I really do. Let's see. Inslee is a mistake. She's a weasel. Inslee criticizing his administration. Ron's response to the virus. Okay, I don't know who Inslee is. Seems strange to me that they are not just testing everyone they can. Is it an expensive test or what's the issue? They're trying to say it'd be $3,000 if you don't have insurance. Okay? And again, this is all blood work that they're doing. If you look at what's happening in China, in Wuhan, they're doing chest x-rays. In fact, you know what? Let's, when we get back, remember, again, guys, we'll go down the line and take all super chats. Let's go through some of the reporting I probably missed in that I have been tweeting out. Let's see. Because, like, yesterday it was a big deal. Yeah, there's the quarantine case. Cuomo taking those emergency powers. Remember, I did a full video on that. The Vatican story. Upstate New York family. Let's see. Let's continue on. What do we got here? Oh, yeah. Google is already gearing up to have all their people work from home. Okay, they realize this is going to go down. All right, internal emails show that they're gearing up for their workers to start working remotely. So think about that. Tech companies are gearing up, and I know I talked to my friend in New York today, and they're already sending him emails to get ready to remotely work from home. All right, so I see that happening at anywhere that you can do that. I think that's going to be a reality. And this was the family I was talking about. That if you didn't watch my broadcast last night and you just want to watch it raw, watch their press conference, okay? Look, check this out. Orange County. All right, this is a microcosm of what's going to happen to these places from basically the economic impact of all these events just stopping and closing. Rick Santilli on the House floor. Let's just listen to him.
Think about how the world would be if you tried to quarantine everybody because of the generic type flu. Now, I'm not saying this is the generic type flu, but maybe we'd be just better off if we gave it to everybody, and then in a month it would be over, because the mortality rate of this probably isn't going to be any different if we did it that way than the long-term picture. But the difference is we're wreaking havoc on global and domestic economy.
Now I want you to think about that. Think about what that guy thinks of everybody else. If he's a low-level media minion, a mouthpiece for the predator class, a CNBC hack, somebody who's losing probably tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of $1,000s in his portfolio. Who knows? Maybe he's done really well. Maybe millions in his portfolio right now. Can you imagine what a billionaire thinks and how they think of us? Sure, if it's only got a 2% death rate, let's just give it to everybody. JP Morgan and other big banks are seeking some kind of economic help already. Let's go to that super chat. I see the first one. Jay Inslee is a governor of Washington State. He briefly ran for president. Yes. All right. He was with Pence. The POTUS was tweeting about him. It's all a tweet war. Well, let them fight. I mean, I'm way more concerned with what's actually going down in the world and the reaction. And again, we're going to keep scrolling down here because I want to show people that they are using CT scans in China. And Chinese media is putting this out. I want to put that out there. There it is. Video CT scans are being used. And I'm just going to take that out. And you can see here, they're looking at healthy and non-healthy people. So that makes me think that they're absolutely testing this. Are we really doing this? Come on, YouTube. We'll just do it that way. We'll do it that way. We'll do it live. Thumbs this video up, subscribe, and share. Seriously? They don't want people to see what they're doing here? You can't win, folks. You can't win when you do it live. I don't know. I mean, I guess it doesn't want to play it, but I assure you, as you can see on the screen, they're doing CT scans to test for who has the coronavirus, who's going to make it. And yeah, I mean, those reports of this thing being a combination in some cases of AIDS and SARS seems to be real and can do permanent lung damage even if you've recovered. Food for thought. Yeah, I did see Inslee running for president too. It was terrible. Just to ask the question, Jason, was it an accident? I mean, does it look like an accident? I don't know. Pence was in Washington State yesterday, and he did nothing. I know. Chump told Pence not to be nice to Inslee. Pence should have quarantined Seattle for sure. I mean, I can't believe they weren't doing a better job on the old folks' home itself. That's the craziest part. And they're treating those people like shit. And again, they're not letting them see their loved ones, and they're telling them they're okay, and the next minute they're dead, and they're not showing symptoms. This is all really upsetting. Quarantine forever. They need to take whatever they want from the dorms, apartments, because they aren't going to be returning to schools for a while. This was known until spring break to shut it down. You think that they were just waiting for spring break to do it? It's very possible. I mean, I can't imagine that they're going to let the SUNY system back up here. And throughout the state. You know, they're everywhere. That's the thing about the SUNY system. All right? You have 8 million people in Manhattan, a couple million people, outside in Long Island, et cetera. It's a huge area, and, millions of those kids go throughout the country. I mean, it's got to be over 1 million kids in college in the SUNY system from that area. I guess that's my guess. But there's quite a few schools I can name: SUNY Potsdam. I'm pretty sure SUNY Plattsburgh, SUNY Oneonta. Obviously, that's where I'm at. SUNY Buffalo. It's at SUNY Cortland. Let's see. Another 8 people positive in BC, Canada today. Sick of manipulation. Ask the question, please. What is he talking about? In Vatican, they just pray the virus away. Yeah. Oh, Trump doesn't get it. Proves he's a robot. Inslee told Pence that the administration would be more successful in addressing the virus if it stuck to the science and told the truth. I mean, it needs to do that. I'll tell you, 3 large conventions at Orlando's Orange County Convention Center have been canceled. Yeah, huge economic impact. We covered that. Hundreds of thousands of attendees this week and millions of dollars in 146 is what they're claiming, million. How many people get this and never feel the need to get tested? That's a great question. That's kind of unknown, right? How many people have already had it? How many people have recovered? Again, with the flu season killing 64% more people in this country than it did last year, you have to ask. Let's see. The answer is no, thanks. Okay, whatever that means. Let's see. Because they can't do anything for them. Apparently, the CT scans were creating a lot of false positives. That's from 4 days ago. Maybe. Very possible. Again, I don't want to come down sick. And if I do, I don't want to get tested, and I don't want to be quarantined in any shape or form. I don't want to go to a facility. I don't want to be around other sick people. Period. Washington State has 70 confirmed cases and 11 deaths so far. It's probably much higher than that, by the way. Okay? Good luck, kids. We don't know anything. Elderberry juice. South by Southwest canceled, and nothing of value was lost. Copic is going to continue to mutate. COVID is going to mutate, I fear. The movie Contagion was released on 9/9/11. I suggest people watch it. It's predictive programming propaganda. I believe that. All right, whatever that means. Pence should have come with a few 100,000 test kits. You're not wrong. Chloroquine is being used in China to significantly treat coronavirus. 4 cents a pill. Okay? Khabib versus Ferguson will get canceled. I hope not, man. My God, I just saw a little piece of that presser. If you saw me scrolling through, there's fights tomorrow. Good fights tomorrow. Romero at Adesanya. Still living my life. Having my brother over. You know, still socializing. Still doing my thing. Hoping the craziness doesn't really happen. And hoping that whatever economic impact and lifestyle impact does not mean the big takeover. I gotta be honest. Already the executive authorities that were passed for New York are frightening, and obviously the numbers are way, way smaller. And Cuomo is saying the numbers are only going to increase and get higher and higher. So what's the number where it escalates to a point where a city actually goes under full quarantine here in the United States? Heard of any reason why it seems they are being so selective with testing people? For example, all the people in the facility in Washington. Why are they not testing everyone in there? They might be cost, but that's insane. Still not testing the nursing home patients. Why? Yeah, I know, it's crazy. They are calling a case presumptive positive in New Jersey. Yeah, again, they don't want the real numbers. Evidently, the CDC sent test kits and then told people not to use them. The families are pissed. Yes, they are. They should be pissed. Look, guys, here's the deal. If it was your mother, brother, sister, this is about to become really human really quickly because these people have faces like yours and voices like yours, right? They're American citizens. It's not a foreign country. It's not a different language. They're already sending all the abroad kids home, and I'm pretty sure that those that are being sent home are going to have to do 14 days in isolation just to make sure. Oh. Yep, there's the 3,000. I guess they don't work. There's also talk about the tests being contaminated. Again, what do you believe, guys? Thumbs this video up, by the way. Subscribe, share. Let's see. I heard on the news we need more test kits. Very possible. Since December, the CT scans are important diagnostic because it damages lung cells and organs permanently. CT can see lung lesions on lungs and pneumonia. The virus also causes lungs to. I can't even read that, but thank you. Thank you, Brian Wilson. Yes, $3,000 for a test. That is correct at this point. I believe it's $1 to $3,000, depending on where you are and what kind of insurance you have. Race specific to agree, it's a spectrum. I mean, is it? I mean, I guess we're going to find out quick. Let's see. We only have 2 school districts closed in Washington right now. Exactly, but listen, Washington's not New York City. It's large, but it's not as large scale as there. And there'll be a certain point where people will demand it in the rest of New York, period. Current tests have a 40% false negative rate. Interesting. You sound kind of sick, Jason. You'd better check into the closest FEMA camp. No mas! You guys have seen me run down before. I still do it all day, every day, baby. Feeling fine. Don't you worry. They have known about this for a month. Yes, over a month. Well before that. I think it's been in the United States for some time. Again, I've played you the audio clip of people talking about being in Buffalo 3 weeks ago. So the numbers are all bullshit. Okay? It's just going to be the perceived numbers to people and what they put out into the public arena. That's going to be the reaction. Again, they're bleeding this slowly to try to, again, save the market from a total collapse in like one fell swoop. Let's see. Take some of your stock money and buy gold and Bitcoin to hedge. Everyone watch latest virus vid by channel Last American Vagabond. It damages lungs and organs permanently. That's what's being reported in some media outlets, yes. Last FEMA camp in New Orleans, I'm pretty sure everyone got some sort of lung disease, got very sick and died. Yep, scar tissue. Oh no. The HIV AIDS virus insertions are scary. Oh, there's a big jump. There's a big old jump. Remember, guys, we take all the super chats, and we'll see how far we get through all this. Thank you for that one again, Triana. Triana, be fine. Thank you. Let's see. Wow, oh, there we go. There we go. Washington State DOH posted coronavirus quarantine requirements on February 2nd, yet there are no quarantine facilities in this area. Yeah, but they'll be makeshift facilities. If the Pope had coronavirus, I don't think they would have admitted it. I doubt they would have admitted it as well. AD, scary and suspicious. Bennett loves the spotlight. Loves that spotlight. Vaccines could cause worse reactions to some people if they get the antigen wrong. I'm not looking to take any kind of vaccine. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I really don't want to just up and leave and go and get out of the country, but come on. I don't want a shot in my arm. Better to have 3+ months of food and supplies, including cans of gas, add a bit of stabilizer to make it store longer. Interesting. Conspiracy theorists, death camps, world, nonsense, FEMA, yeah. Come on in. It's safe. Folks in camp a decade later. Listen, you look at what they did to those Chinese camps, man. Those Uyghur Muslims are in those factories, and nobody's talking about it in the United States. It's a big shh. I've been telling people that. I'm like, you seen all these mainstream reports of the moving the internment Camp Chinese into the Nike and BMW and Apple factories? Shh. That should alarm people. Yeah, I see under 30 thumbs up. I don't know how many. Let's thumb it up. And remember, guys, need your support. 51015. Need that support. All right, let's continue on. We have approximately 42 admitted cases. I'm adding admitted cases in Canada. No deaths that I know of. Yeah, they've rolled it out slower there than here. You notice I talked to Dan Dix. Dan Dix was doing a live stream, and I noticed that he wasn't as concerned at the response. But listen, again, I didn't think it was coming to the United States. I'm not freaking out. I'm not telling you everybody's going to die. The predictions of the price gouging and the panic buying have already happened, and the outbreaks in nursing homes I said get your family out of nursing homes. There's a reason I said that. You know, I think what happened to those families in Washington is deplorable. Thank you, Mr. Gritch. We appreciate you. We do. All right. FEMA trailer homes had a lot of formaldehyde screwed up peeps' lungs in New Orleans. Ozone and vitamin C are cures, but no big pharma. I mean, people are talking about some of the studies that are showing vitamin C injections. Now, again, you want a healthy immune system. What at all times you want a healthy immune system. You want to be eating right. You want to be doing a little bit of exercise, right? You know, I get out there. I'm walking. I'm talking. I'm trying to stay in some kind of shape. You should be too. If it came from bats, why now? There has always been bats. That's the bat theory and the Wuhan market. You saw that they went to go demolish the Wuhan market, and there was a family of 4 living in it after it had already been quarantined. And guess what? They all tested negative. Jim Ferris says, never give up, Jason. Thank you, Jim. I really do appreciate that, man. I listen, no matter what you think of the virus itself, what I'm giving you is what's being reported and, you know, the repercussions of this thing. The economic repercussions are going to be the largest we've ever seen in a lifetime. I'm telling you now. Like, I think it's going to make 9/11's economic repercussions look small. I think it's going to make the housing crisis look small. You know, the banker bailout of 2008 looks small to all of us. I really, really do believe that. You got to understand, it's 2020. 1929 is the last time that this happened on a large scale level, and you better believe that the predator class at the end of it is going to be waiting to swoop in and take advantage every way possible. Never let a good crisis go to waste, real or manufactured, period. Someone's cutting their dog's hair, great. Underpaid Wuhan biolab workers selling infected animals without knowing into the wet market for supplemental income is the likely origin. I don't know that that's true either. Listen, I have a sneaking suspicion that it's been in the States for months. I really do. And how would you know unless right now you were testing large swaths of the American populace? Seriously. In all areas. Like, seriously, they should go into a state right now in Missouri and test 10,000 people in Missouri. Because, there would be no community spread before that, right? Then if you did that, you would know there's already large-scale community spread, all this bullshit about tracking down patients and where they want, because that's smoke and mirrors at this point. It's already everywhere. That's what I'm trying to tell you. All right? Quarantine facilities in the USA have been full since early January, tens of thousands. They gave locations numbers on top of that Pentagon signing and all those tens of thousands using military base for quarantine. Yep, Papa, I heard that too. I heard it was the upper management, though. I don't know that any of that's true yet. I got to see what we're talking about. Seems the most plausible, Dr. Drool. Simple, makes sense. Coronavirus won't last long as it was made in China. Everybody thinks they're funny. I don't think you're funny. We're beyond funny. It seems to be race-specific, gender-specific, and even age-specific. I'll give you age-specific, and it does seem to attack men more, but it seems to go after old people and compromised immune systems. But then it looks like it infects everybody, but it doesn't really hurt everybody. What do I mean? Those entire families in New York, the lawyer's family and then the other person he was in contact, both of their entire families got it. One was a family of 5, one was a family of 6. The guy who drove the original patient, the Westchester patient, over also got it. So it seems like it's highly contagious, okay? And most people will catch it. But what is the level at which it's actually doing anything? That's what I'm saying. This whole thing about being asymptomatic, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All right, let's see what we got here. We got another one. Newport Marina, Oregon is still using the CDC limited guideline for testing. Thanks so much for yesterday's report on life care. It needed to be done, right? What up, Jace? Knock, knock. What a fool. Mortality is high. Well, I guess we'll see. What a prick. Jeez. Thanks, Jason, for digging deeper than just the obvious. I think especially right now, I would kind of be devoid not to be covering this topic because this is a human topic. This is an everybody topic. This is a right and wrong topic. This is a response on many levels, a government response, a predator class response, a human response, a family response. I've had a lot of talks with my sister in this last week that I didn't think I was ever going to have. I'm trying to have those talks with my brother, and he's not having them with me. He thinks that I'm either I can't do anything or I'm blowing it out of proportion. He doesn't think that the schools are going to close the way I do. But I've seen it. I've been watching it. And, I hate to say that, Shepard, somebody I had on, and a lot of people were mad at me for having on 2 weeks ago. I think at this point, he said by the third week of March, we would be in pandemic level 6 in this country. That's probably likely at this point, right? When you've got the vice president going up with a bunch of people and knocking elbows now in suits, preparing you not to touch other human beings, it's pretty bizarre, right? Just saying. Please have on Dr. Peterson to talk about using silver and other antiviral treatments. Colloidal silver in a nebulizer could treat this. Interesting. Dem pedos. What a human being, the economy. Let's worry about the economy and give it to everyone. WTF. Oh, you're talking about Santilli. Yeah, man. That's how some people think. Econovirus 2020. Jerry Cote, good jab, so true. China woman, APAC infected Congress, but all Democrats boycotted the annual APAC conference. Don't put this past the forces against Trump. Burn the world to get him out. I don't see this as a way to try to get Trump out of office because, honestly, at the end of the day, what's going to happen here? You're already given all sorts of executive powers to the states. You're going to give executive power honestly, if you're worried about Trump, don't worry about the election. Worry about them taking him out with this virus. That's more likely to me than them using this virus against him in an election. To infect him with whatever and say this is it. If you really think the deep state's that after him, I don't. I think they'll use it to scare Trump into giving more executive power to the military-industrial complex, right? That's more than likely what's going to happen. Okay? Let's see. Mild cases aren't added to the statistics, so it only makes the mortality rate look way higher than it actually is. I agree. Absolutely. We might not all get sick and die, but the supply interruption will affect us all. Get ready. Exactly. The economic thing is already here. All right? You're already starting to see the very, 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 very beginning. Let's see. The CT scanning of chest is proper. It looks that way. Is this related to Agenda 21? It could be. Listen, I've talked about population control for a very long time, obviously. Let's see what we got here. Vanessa Stuhler, thanks for your work. I think that South Korea's testing to show the true morbidity still higher than the flu. I agree. Listen, somebody please send me that South Korean test. Now, I know a lot of people don't understand South Korea and how it works and how it's a first world nation, et cetera, and how a lot of things are produced there, and Samsung and other companies use that as their base, right? In fact, I've had friends that have traveled to, different nations like Thailand and different Asian nations, and aside from the racism that goes on there, a lot of them want to be Koreans, and obviously not North Koreans, South Koreans, because of the envy. I'm hoping that South Korea has done it right, that they have 1,400 tested cases, and they're saying it's, 0.4, I think, or 0.6%. 0.6%. I could live with that, okay? I'm hoping that's correct. I think the virus has been here for a while. People have been getting crazy respiratory illnesses the past few years. I don't know about years, but it's certainly been a crazy flu season. Yes, Trump's USMCA equals NWO. It's terrible. No MMA reporter has had the balls to bring up, from what I've seen, any questions about contingency plans for UF shows in Vegas, New York City, Brazil, Australia, UK. What are they going to do, right? I hear you, Vlada. I do. But what are they going to do? Let's be real about it. I don't even know what to say there. Until there's a national emergency called or whatever, they kind of just got to play it. And I think that, the thing is that UFC can set up localized shop. You know, unless they're going to cancel every single major event, which they may, then they're obviously going to roll with this. Plus, why would they say that now when they've got a show tomorrow? You know, obviously the show tomorrow is going through. Oh, that's a jump, huh? Okay. Yes, this was stated. 168 LOL 2Q, but what was the particular related? I think. I don't know what that means. $9.11 from Dr. Drool. Thanks, Jason. Keep up the great work. Take your vitamins and get rest, folks. If we're all infected, the fight is already on. I think there's a way higher level of infection than what they're putting out there for sure. For sure. This might sound bad, but I could give a fuck what happens to the big cities in America. I hope they all burn. That is bad. You're right. Look, I've already reached out to my ex-girlfriend, and I already told her, please, don't wait. Don't wait. The minute something sets wrong, and honestly, if something terrible is about to happen and I feel it in my gut, I'm gonna bug the hell out of her. Why wait for something terrible to happen? Why not be prepared and have a plan? Because obviously things are changing a little bit. It's already started, right? And I suspect as the numbers go up and people get more worked up and more action is taken, we're going to see some very different things in this country. Let's see. I know we're going to lose the Khabib-Tony fight. That would be crazy. I'd be so upset. Nice Slipknot hat. Just noticed it. Yeah, I mean, again, Slipknot canceling their Knotfest tour. That's pretty crazy. USA will be using dorms as quarantine facilities. If students have stuff they want, shove it in their car on the way back for spring break. I mean, that would be kind of nuts, right? If dormitories were overtaken by the military and used as makeshift facilities because the students weren't there, if they were like literally wiped down. I mean, the end of days prophet says, I can't die, and ha 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 ha. In Oregon, they only test people that are in the hospital. I'm sure there are many people out there with it and we don't know about. Yes, agreed. I know I sure as hell don't want to get sick with this. No one does. But Rick Santilli wants us all to get sick. Let's get that market moving. Let's get that market moving. Let's just roll the dice. Get sick. Let's just get everybody ill. How funny is it that a virus takes precedent over the environment and the tree huggers are nowhere to be seen? Suddenly refillable cups are banned and sharing public showers in sports centers. Look at me now, Dad. This outbreak shows how much our economy depends on China. Too damn much. Agreed, Stephen Chase. Coronavirus is fake. Jason Burmis, it's in Canada and the government hasn't done anything to prep us. Again, your numbers are going to go up the same way that our numbers are going to go up. And I would expect, since the border, and again, I've been talking about Buffalo and Rochester and it being there for some time. I would expect it's already been there for you as well. Okay? That's just how I feel. That's just how I feel. Let's see. Did your dad go for milk in 1988 and say he'd be right back? Propaganda. I went to Costco today. No toilet paper, Kleenex, or hand sanitizers. Nuts. Coronavirus is like a mind dildo. Jesus. Where did you go, Dad? Yeah, the Canadian government hasn't given us any direction, which is weird because they love nannying us. Because I really feel like, they're trying to ease the panic on this because the panic's going to happen. I truly believe the market panic alone is one of the biggest worries out there. My good friend is the director at Evergreen. Really? Well, what's John Kalin? What's going on there? DM me some information over on Twitter at Jason Burmis, right below me. It's all about the globalists working towards forced inoculation. Much love. It's out of the public. No stopping it. That's why no tests. You're responsible for yourself. The government will always fail you. Agree. Let's see. If there's too much propaganda, I might have to block him too, huh? Good luck quarantining suburban America. Armed populace aside, there are too many ways in and out. Government doesn't have enough manpower. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Absolutely. They aren't testing because they are limited on how many tests can be used but it should be available for anyone with symptoms. Yeah, but if you can spread it asymptomatically, what point does that get you other than a jacked up mortality rate at the end of the day? If you're not testing people that are asymptomatic to see whether they have it or not, and then you're never going to get a true mortality rate. Then you're going to hype up the fear even more because the mortality rate is going to be perceived to be more than it is. Let's get those thumbs up, folks. He said things are going to get bad. Oh, the Evergreen guy. Yeah, I think they are going to get bad. I agree. Many more have died. Families coming forward. They were charging at homes, at home or hospital, then they died. Been lied to, told no, don't have virus. But when they get the death certificate, says coronavirus. Eesh. Corona Corpse 2018. The only reason I stop and wonder if it's fake is because the media and social media stigmatize protecting yourself and preparing for lockdown. Seems like sheep herding gone wrong. I don't know. I don't know that's the case. It's not race specific. I don't think it is race specific at this point. Propaganda, your mom told me. But again, if it's two different strains, the more deadly strain might be race specific. Right? And then the less deadly strain, could be the one taking out the elderly. Again, it seems like kids, we haven't had a death under 10, which is encouraging. But again, I mean, can you imagine losing your child to something like this? I mean, your mother, your father, that's bad enough, like we've already talked about. I mean, again, the way those people in Washington were treated is deplorable. But I can't even imagine a child. So let's keep going. We will beat the Wu-Tang flu. I hope so. District of Columbia broke my heart. Glad to see you made it. Is there really only 16 thumbs up? That's hard to believe. I don't know. Whoa, that was a big jump. Whoa, did I miss that super chat? Toilet paper guys are making money, says True Free Thinkers. I did miss that one. I got that one, though. I got that one. Did Holmes? I missed that one. We might not all get sick and die, but the supply... Oh, yeah, we did do that one. Let's keep going up. Oh, I didn't see you there. Thank you, Holmes. Appreciate that. See, some of them don't just pop up. Let's see. Okay, so that's he's not canceling the Brooklyn event. That's good. Max Stachowski, would you have Owen Benjamin on the show? Am I allowed to have him on YouTube, or is he completely banned? I don't know. If he's not completely banned, and you know what? I'd have him on Rockfin. I don't see why not. I don't know that he'd want to talk to me or what we would be talking about. I haven't really kept up with anything that Owen Benjamin's had to say in a while. Let's see. Buy silver. You can make colloidal silver. This is the biggest virus. Mutates a lot and quickly. Typo tests were 20 to 30% accurate. Interesting. Bioweapon, if it really is bad. They want to kill off the boomers. Notice how they've injected the boomer hate into the culture. Okay, boomer. I mean, any kind of disrespect for old people. Listen, in my day, I know some people will call me a boomer at 40, but you'd say, whatever, grandpa, whether, to old people. Listen, there's always going to be a fuck you to the older generation. People that know better know to respect everybody. Content of character. Not how old you are or your race or your religion. Content of character. Not the color of one's skin or their ethnicity or any of that bullshit. Wall-to-wall coverage by the media. Engineered virus. Engineered market crash. Opt to self-quarantine if you can. Exactly. Reeks of fuckery. Agreed. So the CDC needed money to buy test kits. HHS gets $8 billion in sanctuary city mayor in San Antonio's crony boss sue the CDC for the city not ensuring its process out of process era. I don't buy the corona hype. It's just the jizya tax on the Muslims. Safe passage and all. I mean, it looks like all travel is going to end. I mean, there's a chance that domestic travel is going to be limited. I think we're going to go about 5 more minutes, guys. Thumbs this video up. Subscribe and share. Remember, we'll take the rest of the super chats if they come in, and we'll go down the line. They knew about coronavirus in 2018 with Corona Corp's pre-programming video. An airplane hit the Pentagon. Pongo D. Somebody just told me the MMA journalist Mark Romero asked today at press conference a question about cancellation risks in light of South by Southwest canceling today and was booed by the whole arena. People don't want to face reality, man. They don't want to face reality, but like, again, South by Southwest is so big for them to cut that out. That's crazy. And we're supposed to worry about global warming. Please get on the Dr. Peterson to talk about using. Okay, we already talked about that. Met with one of my clients today. Her and her husband are worth over $30 million. They know the family that owns Vaughn's store. They know Nicole Kidman. They think it's just the normal flu. Okay, interesting. Max Statowski. Dana White says he's not canceling next month's UFC event in Brooklyn. I'm sure he's not. But again, if there's an executive order, no one's going to have a choice. When the Uyghurs were taken away from their homes, the Chinese would tell their children they were being taken away because they had a virus. Yikes. 56 death by alligator attack in U.S. per year. Yeah, but we're probably way past 50 deaths of this virus in this country right now. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, Flary Canery. Yes, Karen, search on YouTube. Colloidal silver won't kill coronavirus, sadly. If you haven't seen the Corona Corpse video from August 4th, 2018, then I suggest you do. Corona Corpse, I guess I have not. Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Dell, etc. Massive slave labor gulags. Yes, so bad spent fortune on net as people escape and jump from sweet relief of death, suicide. Now all over China, mass suicides. At the gym right now, chasing that pump. Yeah! Ooh! That's what I'm talking about, Department of the Outworld. Oh, and it was all planned. You know, suicide cures depression 100% of the time. Jesus Christmas. Corona Corpse proves it was planned. I don't know, but I have to watch. Que bueno. I would trust store-bought colloidal silver before anything I might make myself. 3+ months food supply and start now growing another blah, blah, blah. Sorry, I joined late. Hope everyone has had a great weekend. All right, guys, I think this is going to be it. We're going to wrap it up. Again, I want to remind you guys, this is how I do it. I do appreciate all the super chats, but $5, $10, $15, it really does mean the world to me. You big donors, please remember, I got a family to feed. I still got bills to pay. I got to keep the lights on. It doesn't matter what this disaster does economically. You know, when it shuts down, I've still got to pay. So, you know, I can only imagine that if other people start losing their jobs and their finances, they can't help support, you know, independent journalists like myself. So thumbs this video up, subscribe, and share. Check out the Rockfin. You can follow me for free. You want the bonus content, it's $9.99 a month, but you get everybody's bonus content, including Ben Askren, Chael Sonnen, Graham Elwood, Ron Placone, Nico House, The Convo Couch, and others. I do it 3 to 7 times a day on the regular right here over on YouTube, so make sure you're subscribed, thumbing up, and sharing. I love you guys. I'm going to keep you updated no matter what. Let's keep a level head, and I will see you on the flip.